We're back.
Yes, we are back, and they just made the announcement as we're recording this video about 15 minutes ago. Only one person got elected in. It was a unanimous choice. All 16 people on this committee voted for Fred McGriff to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame, and he is the only one of the eight who got the votes necessary. You needed 12 to get in. He got 16 out of 16,
And
100%.
And also, they changed the thing to where you can only have 3 votes this year.
Right, and thank you for mentioning that because I explained it to Joseph a little while ago. I had made a mistake. They had changed the rule where you could only pick 3, so that was my mistake. But what do you feel about the fact that number one, only one person got voted in, and number two, it was a unanimous selection?
Well, I mean, it feels like, really, why is there only one person? I mean, I feel like more people should have been in, because.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's, kind of weird. I think Barry Bonds should have been elected in. I know, the whole, thing about the steroids use,
Mm-hmm.
that could have been something, but I mean, with his outstanding performance, I think he should have been elected in. And also it was a unanimous vote, so I guess they all really agreed. Well, that's what unanimous means.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess it was they all
They
did.
really, yeah.
I wonder what their other votes were.
Well, we do have the results.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, Fred McGriff, the only one that got voted in, got all 16. Then Don Mattingly got 8 votes, so 50%. He was 4 short. Kurt Schilling was next with 7. Dale Murphy with 6, and then Albert Bell, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Rafael Palmeiro each received less than 4 votes.
Wow. I mean, I kind of expect that with Barry Bonds, but the rest of them, it doesn't really make sense.
Well, I think for me,
Uh-huh.
there's 2 or 3 things that come out of this voting.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, if you are a Don Mattingly fan, and there were people that had commented that wanted Don Mattingly in the Hall of Fame,
Mm-hmm.
there's hope. The fact that he was only 4 short of getting in means there's hope. He's got a shot. Maybe the next time around in 3 years.
Wait, do they do separate for years?
Mm-hmm, well, this committee. They do every 3 years.
So they don't. I'm still new.
Yeah, it's okay. We're teaching the young lad. But if you're a Don Mattingly fan, to know that he was 4 votes short, that's got to be good if you're a Don Mattingly fan. And it's really now just a matter of time before he gets in. I really feel this is the first step for him towards getting it. So that's my first thought.
And with Barry Bonds getting less than 4 votes, I think there's not really a chance for him getting in.
Well, okay, that's actually going to go to my second point. Bonds, Clemens, and Palmeiro, all 3 that were accused of using any type of steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, still lingers over them. Because the voting was a combination of players that are already in the Hall of Fame, executives, and historians. That cloud is still hanging over all 3 of those guys. And that, to me, is a sign that it's going to be a while, I think, before any of the 3 of them, if any of them, ever get voted in. That's the second thing.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really know that story. I only know that he used steroids, but whatever. I don't really know the story, but if he used them and it was more not like a ha 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 I'm gonna use steroids and cheat, and more like a people forced him or encouraged him to do it. I think there and that goes for all of them. I think there's more of a they should be given a second chance. And if it was ha ha ha, I'm gonna use steroids to cheat, and they all got together and they all agreed and no one was encouraged. Well, I mean no one was influenced too much to do this. I feel like they shouldn't be put in.
And the third and final thought goes to Kurt Schilling, who you and we both had him in. He was the only one out of all of our picks that we had going in. The fact that he got 7, which was over, the 50% threshold, means he's got a shot again, kind of like Don Mattingly. And the same with Dale Murphy. With Schilling, like we had talked about, and in the comments, it was more of his political views, and sometimes you need to keep your mouth shut. But he got a chance, a fair chance. He got a good number of votes. He got over half of the 12 that you needed.
That's good. I mean, how many do you need again?
You needed 12.
You needed 12 votes. So, he was only one less than,
Mattingly.
So, there's a very good chance that he might get voted in, again.
Yeah, and Dale Murphy got 6, which was half. So, there's a chance there when they come up again in 3 years with this particular committee that they get a fair shot. I mean, but the thing is with these committees, and I want to explain it not only to Joseph, but to everyone that's watching this. Just because Mattingly got 8 votes, Schilling got 7, and Murphy got 6, doesn't necessarily mean that in 3 years, when this committee comes up again in 2025, that they're going to be on the ballot again. They could get skipped. They could get looked over. I highly doubt it, but
that is true.
But you never know.
So, I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
So, I know Ryan Zimmerman, I think he could go to the Hall of Fame. So, when could he get put on the ballot?
Well, he has 4 more years to wait, because the rule is 5 years after you have retired.
So, not next committee, the committee after that.
Well, no, he would be on the baseball writers ballot.
Baseball writers ballot.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So, a couple of quick things to mention. One voting thing that happened, which I think is kind of important. Chipper Jones, who's already in the Baseball Hall of Fame, was originally going to be a part of the 16-person committee. Unfortunately, he got ill, he got sick, so he could not be there to vote. So they had to bring another person in to vote. So that's the first thing to mention. The second thing, next year's committee. This is going to be a fun one. No players. This is for baseball executives, managers, and umpires.
Ooh, umpires.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. And in 2 years, it is the Classic Era Committee, which is going to consider players whose primary contributions to baseball came prior to 1980. That's going to be in 2 years.
So the 70s and the 60s.
70s and
so
before.
Jackie Robinson time? Or
yeah, basically from the beginning.
Yeah. So,
but
Babe Ruth.
Well, that time frame.
That time frame, from the beginning of baseball to
1980, yeah. So next year, it's going to be the executives, managers, and umpires that are going to get their opportunity to possibly get voted in. 2 years, it's going to be the Classic Era Committee, and in 3 years, we will do this cycle again. But congratulations to the crime dog, Fred McGriff, 100% vote from all the members of this committee going in to the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2023.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.